So, joining us on the podcast today is Tyler Knighton. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, how's it going?
So, first question here. When were you first introduced to EDM?
It was the Korn album.
Really?
Yeah, it was when they released that song with Skrillex.
Yeah, okay.
That was my first actual introduction to EDM. I guess before that I didn't know was EDM was Daft Punk.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It's I watched a bunch of what was it, Toonami.
Okay, yeah.
And they had
sure.
all those Daft Punk videos. So that was my first electronic music, and then but what actually got me into it was the Korn.
And do you remember when that came out? I feel like that was probably 2012, 2013.
Yeah, 2012.
Somewhere around there.
So
okay.
long. Yeah, but I think it was Narcissistic Cannibal. I think it was that or
yeah.
So that was
there was
that.
2 songs, wasn't there? Or was it the whole album?
No, it was 2 songs. The Path of Totality, Korn. The Path of Totality. That's what it was. Yeah.
So you were first kind of a heavy rock metal guy.
Yeah,
and
big rock, heavy metal.
And then you heard this and you're like, oh, this sounds different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I'm also a guitarist too. So
oh, okay.
I come from a big rock and metal background, and then kind of ease my way into that.
Okay, right on, sweet. So I did some digging on your personal information. You're from Illinois, right? Okay.
Correct.
So what brought you up here to Michigan?
I'm going to school at Ferris State for digital animation and video game design.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I've been doing that, and then kind of been doing music more now instead of my degree, kind of. I've been focusing more on that.
Okay, gotcha. And that's kind of been more beneficial to you then, or?
To me, I think it's been more beneficial just to my own happiness.
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
I went to the degree being okay, I need to make money, I have to live this life, but I wasn't happy. It kind of ruined video games going to school for it.
Okay.
I was oh, this isn't right, I could do this better, and it would I would nitpick every video game, and it would suck.
So you're a big gamer then?
I'm getting back into it.
Yeah.
I used to not be it ruined it. I literally would play a game and be this sucks.
Oh, I see.
I'm
yeah.
done.
So
I get an hour into it, be this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong.
That sounds miserable.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I actually almost went through a similar thing with DJing. I think it was 2 years ago at Electric Forest.
Okay.
I was watching a set, and I'm just picking the artist's set apart. I'm just digging it apart. I'm and this is an artist I really love. I don't remember who it was, but it was at Tripoli.
Yeah.
That's all I remember, and I'm just picking it apart. And I'm just damn, I hope I don't this is rooting music for me right now. It was a weird hump I had to get over. I couldn't get over for video games, but music, I got it. I got over the hump. I could at least get I could at least enjoy the set now.
Right on.
Not pick every little detail apart.
Right on. Okay, I can see how that would be the case. Once you start learning more about something, you really start to nitpick and see, what's really going on. And you have a better understanding. So last night was a pretty big night for you. You closed out the cabin. You did a back-to-back with Twisted Dubs.
Yep.
How was that? How was that?
Honestly, to me, that was the most fun I've had with him in a while. We actually had 4 CDJs, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so him and Ike were able to at least we weren't in each other's way, really. It's we were able to jump around on each other, so it was a lot of fun.
It was you guys had a good vibe going.
Yeah. And we always do back-to-backs, at Electric Forest, him and I did a back-to-back at the Mean Mug RBs.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had sub in for Oddest and Twisted Dubs, and I'm hey, Twisted, want to jump in with me? Let's do a back-to-back. It's always fun. And
nice.
Then, our back-to-backs are always just a lot of fun. So.
Right on. Hell yeah. So you prefer that over solo, or do you it kind of a...
I like solo, but he's someone who I like to do back-to-back.
So it depends on who you're doing back-to-back with.
He's a preferred person who I like.
Okay.
There's no, I like doing it with as many new people as possible. I want to be as versatile as possible.
Sure. Okay. Right on. We'll kind of keep stepping back here a little bit. So you recently played a show out of state, recently being this year, in Ohio. What was that experience like? How did that come about?
I'm gonna keep this kind of short and simple. I don't want to bash the whole thing. It was actually the most unenjoyable experience I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
Ohio's kind of a trigger word, so I'm just trying to hold back. Man, right now I could just bash this kid who booked me for it.
Yeah.
And it was a bad experience. I gave the guy a chance the next day to talk it out more, and it just wasn't good.
Wasn't good. Yeah.
So but it's a learning experience though.
Yeah.
Like I also got like contacts from other DJs that were in Columbus, so like
Okay.
it was like a learning curve, but it's opened doors for like other DJs and other
Nice.
opportunities.
So it wasn't all bad.
The experience was bad, but the actual like I got some stuff out of it. Like I got to know Snacks, the actual like the headliner.
Oh, okay.
So like I got to meet her and I got her information and and she's from Indianapolis, so maybe I'll get my way out there sometime.
Okay, right on. Sweet. You are the talent buyer at Bass Elements.
Mhm.
So how did that whole thing come about, and talk about how that all got started?
Okay, so originally it was Chris Puget. It was Chris Bits, who
Okay.
hosted the night. Before him was Dean Martian, who was there, who played last night
Oh, okay.
with Krita, who's from Kalamazoo.
Okay.
So like Dean started the night, I want to say like 8 to 10 years ago.
And this is at Log Cabin, right?
He started at Tip Top 8 to 10 years ago, if not longer. And
Wow.
then I believe Bass Elements at Log Cabin was like 8 to 5 years ago.
Okay. So it switched venues. Do you know why that happened, or?
I don't know why that happened.
Okay.
I only came into this scene here in GR like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like really really came into it. Like I went to shows like dressed up in a onesie before then.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like branded myself like initially without like doing it kind
Okay,
of, and
sure.
I kind of just stuck with it.
Okay.
But I came to Bass Elements 2 years ago, got my first ever booking, and then a year later.
So who booked you?
It was originally D-Jax from Team Turn Up.
Oh, okay.
Because Chris Spitz is part of Team Turn Up.
Okay. And what is Team Turn Up for those who don't know?
They're like a local like group, like kind of like Samsara Collective. So it's like a collective like DJs like grouped together. It's managed. Team Turn Up is managed by Sammy Polaroid.
Okay.
AKA Dad Mode.
Okay.
And that's like, and they have like D-Jax, Mantis, the Enshambler. I think that's his full name.
So
I
they're
forget. But
kind of
yeah.
like a record label would be, like
Like I wouldn't say record label, like a group, like a
Just a-
collective.
just a
of people.
collective
Yeah,
group
like
of
a collective of people, like
Okay.
of DJs specifically.
So if you want to get to this particular person, you go through their management head, and that's kind of is
yeah.
like the umbrella of
But
what
Chris
they're...
Chris Bits didn't. Chris Bits wasn't like the head of it, but he had Bass Elements.
Okay.
And I got booked through D-Jax, part of Team Turn Up,
Okay.
to get on Bass Elements, and then
How did you first meet him? Were you just...
I met him. So I was doing like bedroom streaming, like just DJing like live streaming in my bedroom, and I would just do that constantly.
Really? Okay.
And my roommate's girlfriend, Chloe, she introduced me. She's like, hey, I know this guy, D-Jax. He's big in the scene. And she introduced me to him. And he's like, okay, I like what you do. Like, you even produce music. I don't even produce music. So, like, I'll introduce you to Chris. So I'm like, so then, from there, it just went, it was just, like, uphill.
Yeah.
Like, even more from
Yeah.
there.
Just kind of went exponentially for you.
Yeah, it just started, like, growing more and more and more. And then I think it was, like, the real big day was... the first ever breakaway here in Grand Rapids. Twisted Dubs, Reptar, and myself hosted a party at Reptar's old house.
Okay.
And it went from, I believe, like 8 p.m. to like 8 a.m. not Saturday morning, but Sunday. From 8 p.m. Friday to 8 a.m.
shit.
Sunday. The party didn't stop at the
Damn.
house for like 2 whole days straight.
That's crazy.
essentially, Yeah.
Were you guys associated with Breakaway, or was it just
No. We weren't associated at all with
Okay.
Breakaway.
Did you take shifts during that?
Well, so originally the idea was like I was just supposed to play the party just for like one night, and it was supposed to be like an hour set, and D-Jax was supposed to play, Mantis was supposed to play. This was like Dissonance open, like essentially that night Dissonance and Twisted Dubs played from like 8 until like 1 or 2 a.m.
Okay.
And then like I got there at like 1. I took over from like 1 to like 7 a.m.
Ooh, that's impressive.
I've never done a 6-hour slot in my life.
You need a
And
lot
I'm
of
just
material for that.
I think I played one one song twice, but it was 2 different remixes.
Ah, okay.
So like I'll give myself a break on that.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
Hours
Still,
you didn't
that's
play the same song.
No,
pretty
like,
good.
that was my goal. Like I had quite the library. I still have quite the library. I'm always
Yeah.
building it. But
yeah.
I know like the Chat Attack show for Flux Pavilion. Dr.
I remember
Peter.
that. I was there.
Like that show kind of like inspired me, like to push me. Like I'm like shit. I'm on that 4-hour mark. I'm going more than like Chat Attack at that moment. Fuck yeah, like let's do it. So I want to keep pushing myself more and more and more.
Hell
Like,
yeah, right on.
there's such big like locals out here that inspire me honestly, like to really want to push myself more, especially like Attack, because he's got like Ignite events.
Yeah, right. That's huge.
Yeah, and like that's kind of like I want to bring bass elements up to that level maybe.
Sure.
Where you like bring this somewhere else, maybe bring this like section, do a little like takeover there, like rent out a
Yeah.
space or something.
Maybe even have a battle with Ignite events, right?
No, I don't want to step on his toes. Maybe do a little co-booking, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Yeah, right. Cool. So you've obviously made a lot of friends, a lot of DJ friends. Would you consider that to be like your main friend group as like DJs or?
I would say yes and no. Like there's still some like DJs I know, but like I don't hang out with that many DJs and that many people in general too.
Oh, okay.
I generally try to like keep to myself. Actually, I
Okay.
like to stay out of drama.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like in this group, people are always looking for a reason to come after you and attack you and tear you down in some sort of way.
I believe
like,
it.
They want an excuse.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't want to give people excuse, especially with like everything that's been going on social media, people getting torn down.
Oh, dude, it's
People
crazy.
getting called out just for like the smallest little like thing
Right.
that could be like the wrong like intention by anyone.
Right. Yeah. I've seen a lot of that, and it's crazy how one wrong thing could totally just tank your career. Right. Like it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Like I would say I hang out with Twisted Dubs and Ronan the most out
Okay.
of like all the DJs, and I would say like my closest friends
Okay.
like, around here.
Right on. Do you have a job outside of booking and DJing?
Yes, I do. I actually cook at Uccello's in Granville.
Oh, nice.
So
Right on.
like I do that Thursday through Sunday usually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
I work about like 30, 35 hours.
Okay. And you're kind of able to sustain being able to DJ in that.
Well, I mean, like I get out of work and I go to shows, and then like I do warehouse parties, and like I used to host parties at like, because I used to live across from Intersection.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like I think for like when I moved here originally, I moved into Hobson Flats, which
Okay.
was
Yep.
located across from Intersection.
Yep.
And I lived there until like 6 months ago.
Okay.
So like, and then now I live.
So your place was the place to be for the after party.
for like a year.
Yeah.
Just for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, and.
Does
That was too much.
Yeah.
I was like, I actually look back on that, and there was nights where like I would want to kick people out, but I'm like, man, all these people are having so much fun.
Yeah.
I can't do that to them.
Yeah.
But like,
it did get old.
it got old once I stopped doing it. Like I
Oh.
kind of realized it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm like,
It's exhausting.
oh, it was so exhausting.
Right. When you're hosting too, you never know. You
Yeah.
could have some randoms in your house. You never know what's gonna get stolen.
Funny story about that
Sure.
actually.
Go into it.
So I think it was like first or second like big party, maybe even like a third. This random girl steals a nectar collector, like a dab piece from me, and like it's like a little rubber piece, so insignificant and like stupid.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I thought I would never. I'm like, okay, she stole that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like this girl Mackenzie found out, and she like saw her walking out with it, and she was about to like tear her a new one.
Yeah.
And then she tells me, and then like I'm like, okay, and then she starts going after Mackenzie. Then I'm like, okay, now you're pissing me off. Now you're going after my friend. Like,
Yeah.
you can take a little rubber like piece, that's fine.
Right.
But if you want to like start going after my friend, no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
And then I think the next day I put that girl on blast, and I still to this day I don't remember her name, but I regret putting
Bottom
that girl
line,
on
if it's
blast.
not yours, don't take it. Right? Like that's the golden
that
rule.
and don't put people on blast in social media. Like
Ooh, okay.
to me, like I hate putting people on blast on social media in any kind of way of like to tear them down.
Yeah.
Um,
Cyberbullying. It's a
yeah,
that's not cool.
It can ruin people. It can
can.
hurt people.
Yeah.
I was at work and I saw like comments being like, "Where does this girl live? We'll go beat this girl's ass just for this." I'm just like, whoa, whoa, you guys, we can
That
just
got
like.
really extreme.
Yeah, like we can just tone it down. I'm deleting this post, and I just deleted the post at that point. I'm just like,
Yeah.
if people are going after her, and I haven't heard from that girl since. I hope she's okay. Really pray she's
Bottom
okay.
line is
Like,
she probably learned her lesson, right?
yeah, she probably definitely learned her lesson not to go to a party. Well, her
Yeah.
excuse was she was really fucked up. She was
Isn't
really
that
drunk.
everybody's excuse, though, right?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm really fucked up. And, the worst thing I did was tackle my friend Shelby. And, I apologized for it the next day at least.
That's good.
I don't remember it the previous day, but I made they made sure I remembered it the next day.
All right. So back to you being kind of like a talent buyer. Say, I was a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly would I have to do in order to get you to book me?
So I would tell you to send me an email to baseelements616@gmail.com.
Okay.
The email must contain an hour-long mix minimum. If you produce, include tracks you produce. If you have an EPK, provide an EPK.
And what is an
And
EPK for people who don't know?
It's an electronic press kit. It's essentially like a DJ resume.
Okay, gotcha.
So, if you send me all that information, then I'll normally get back to you as soon as possible with a date that I can fit you in. Generally, and also if you produce, it puts you higher on my list if you can produce music. Than if you're just someone who can just mix.
Right.
As much as I hate to say it, I wanna. If I was if I see myself as I want to send people to Intersection is my idea. I want to get these people good enough to play Intersection.
And it's actually funny you say that because I just saw a show, Mersive played at the Intersection. One of the openers was Super Future, and he actually gave a shout out to the Log Cabin. I don't know if it was maybe indirectly towards you or basically just saying, the Log Cabin was the place where I got my first start, and look at me now where I'm opening for this guy at the Intersection. That's super cool, and he kind of got emotional up there, which is awesome because he's a local guy, but and obviously he wants to go hard for his hometown, and I'm sure he's got a lot of people in the crowd, watching him, and everybody starts somewhere, right? And I feel like the Log Cabin is definitely a place where people can get their foot in the door. Would you agree?
Oh, especially in Grand Rapids, especially in this bass scene. I want to make I want to make Bass Elements the spot for locals, from east to west to north to south to last night we were supposed to have 2 DJs from Kalamazoo and 2 from Detroit. We only had 1 from Kalamazoo, Krita, and 1 from Detroit, Icky. And I want to keep bringing out other DJs from all around the Mitten into this one spot.
Yeah.
Get them as much exposure as possible because I think everyone deserves a good chance, especially there's so much talent around here.
Yeah, and there really aren't that many places willing to do that. How is your relationship with the Log Cabin? Are they pretty welcoming of this going on? Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely like what's going on. They were hesitant when I took over from Chris because they knew me, but they didn't know me.
Sure.
But now they know me real well. They know, I'm making them money essentially. When Chris ran it, I remember when Chris ran it, I would open up and there'd be no one there. There'd actually be no one there.
Okay.
2 people, and then now if you come as an opener, you at least have 10 to 15 people in front of you, and then we're hitting capacity. And last night I had one of Preston Proper, Uli, come up to me and he's like, I've never seen cabinet capacity in all my 5 years of coming here. I'm just good. I want to keep pushing. I want to give these kids that experience of a sold out show.
Yeah, absolutely. And that you were talking about, bringing DJs from across Michigan. How is the DJ market for you in terms of, getting DJs to play? Are you kind of having repeat acts, or are you able to keep it kind of fresh?
Sometimes I accidentally do it. Last month I kind of put 2 artists back to back week. I put Ronan 1 week and then Ronan another week, and then S'mores 2 weeks in a row. But they were both. One was doing a back to back, and then another time they were playing solo. So I was okay, but
still different. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just not gonna do it again. I want to make sure we give as many DJs as a chance to play.
Sure.
There are so many DJs out here I can find to get to come and play. That's why we're doing it 2 nights a week. My goal is I want to get 8 DJs a week coming through here. So that's 24 a month, if not more.
Wow. Do you see the DJs becoming more prevalent, or is the market kind of saturated where it is, or do you see more new and up and coming DJs?
I'm seeing more new up and coming DJs. It's definitely But I'm always picky with them. Like,
Sure.
Like I'll go to Kalamazoo to Papa Pete's to the other guys. Like they do an open decks like we do at Base Elements.
So you're kind of like a scout in a sense of where you're scouting talent.
Yeah, kind of but I want to like also again like I want to bring people here. Like I go to Detroit and then like I meet people out there and I bring them, like I scout people on my own. Like I would love to be able to hire someone in and do it, but there's no real budget at this moment to like be like, hey, can you like travel across Michigan and just like go find me like 5 to 10 DJs?
Yeah.
So like I don't want to do it. Like I would rather do it myself, and it also gives me the opportunity to go and promote Base Elements myself too.
Sure, right on. That's sweet. So, did we talk about when you first got into DJing? When I think you said you were doing Facebook videos and such. Is that something you always wanted to do, or was that kind of just how did that come about? Really,
that's what I knew I could do. That's the only thing I knew of what I could do to give myself exposure to people around me at the time.
So did you buy like your own deck and all the software that comes along with it? Or?
Actually, I used Virtual DJ, and that's like a free software. And I just did that, and I just used my little laptop and just mixed like that. And then for my first show at Base Elements, when Chris Bitts ran it, I actually bought myself a little like Pioneer SB2 deck.
Okay.
So I bought it like for my first show, and then I think for a bunch of like my big shows, I bought new equipment. Because last year for New Year's, I bought the deck I have currently, my SX2.
Okay.
Last year for New Year's, I played a show in Branch, Michigan, and I had a manager at the time,
quote unquote
manager. He didn't. Yeah. He got me a gig, and that was it. He got me a gig, and it paid good. That's fine, but it wasn't what him and I originally discussed it was supposed to be.
Okay.
Like the crowd that I was playing to, it was a crowd that was looking for more hip hop and rap for New Year's Eve, and I'm like, we discussed this. I wanted, like, if we were supposed to be like a club, like I had that ready for tonight, and this is not what we wanted. So it was kind of like a disappointment. I tore him a new one, and then I'm like, hey, what are we going to be doing in the future? He's like, well, I got other priorities. I'm like, am I not a priority? He's like, I got this thing bigger. I'm like, okay, have a good night.
So are you approached quite frequently by managers? Is that something that kind of happened and you were like, oh, this must be something good, I'm going to run with it?
Yeah, like that was essentially like, I'm just going to run with it. I'll try it out. Like an open A opportunity, but it wasn't a good one. And then after that, it was just all downhill. Yeah. Like, so that's been my only approach at a manager.
Okay. So currently you're just all self.
Yeah, currently it's all me, just trying to do it, doing Base Elements and doing this. Ronan helps me out with Base Elements.
Okay.
He helps me out with like doing talking around, hosting. He's out in Detroit a lot, so he's kind of like a Detroit scout. Okay. So, like if I was to say my Detroit scout, I would say him because he's part of Death to Reggie's out there. Okay.
Gotcha. So while DJing, have you ever fucked up on stage?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All the time, right?
Oh yeah.
You want to go into depth on a certain story of something that happened, or?
I'm trying to think of actually a big one. Well, it wasn't a big one. It was one that DJ Deuce always gives me shit for. Yeah. So I was playing Basement. It was actually for my birthday. I think I was a little tipsy.
It's your birthday, so everyone's gonna give you a break.
Yeah.
So if it's gonna happen, it might as well be on your birthday.
I was playing the song "Dirty Little Secret," and I was looping it because I was trying to get it ready to come in. I was looping it. I'm like, cool, I'm looping it, and I bring it in. It was like, "What makes you my dirty little secret, dirty little secret?" And I'm like, "Oh, cool!" I hit on loop, and then I hear it again. What makes you? I'm just like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna continue with this. I'm just like, okay, shit. I hit on loop this time. We're good now. So I looked at him, he's like, hey, and then DJ Deuce comes up to me. He's like, Tyler, you'll always be my dirty little secret. And he just looked at me, just I literally just flicked him off. I'm like, no way. I know what I did wrong. Just go. That's hilarious. So that was probably it wasn't a big fuck up at all bad. I guarantee you no one noticed but him. So it's one of those things where I'll notice, he'll notice.
Right. Do you find yourself more in tune with what DJs are doing up on stage? Do you kind of pay attention to how they're acting up there? Or
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah?
Always,
Yeah.
especially at bass elements. Like, I'm always watching like if they're like if their levels are like way too high. Like I've actually had DJs like try to turn up their levels themselves, like on my other mixer, and I like look and I'm like, if you touch it, you're done. Like I'll say like you're done for the night.
Yeah.
About how many people clip every
Oh,
single track?
oh god, so many. So like I also have a rule there, like kids who rip music. Like I don't want kids like illegally downloading music off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Like if you, I want them to get the songs like full quality, buy the music, support the artist.
Right.
Like,
You have to. Right. Yeah.
like also like on the sound system at Log Cabin, you can tell the difference between a rip song and then like an actual full quality song.
Sure.
That you
But I
downloaded
ripped
from
it on
artists.
YouTube at 320.
Yeah.
that wasn't ripped at 320. Yeah, let me give some advice to DJs out there. Like, if you rip a song, no matter what, it's still gonna be at 1920. That's what it
that's
streams at on YouTube.
So where would
like,
you recommend for them to grab their music?
you go to Beatport, you go to Deezer, you go to Apple Music, you go to an actual platform that like sells or distributes.
And from what I understand,
music.
it's not that expensive.
No, it's not. It if you want to get the higher quality version of like the tracks called Waves, it might be like $1 more, but you're paying for quality. So
Where
like
do
if
you
you were
get
to
those?
play, Beatport has that and it has the option. You can actually select out like there's a drop down menu. It actually has AIF, MP3, I think MP4, and then Wave. So like
Okay.
it actually has like a bunch of options, which is really really nice.
Nice. Do you want to talk a little bit about your personal DJ setup? What programs you use? I know you talked about your deck.
Yeah, right now I just have a little SX2. Like I'm looking to invest in CDJs, which is the standard professional.
Is that still Pioneer?
Yeah.
SS2?
Yeah,
Okay.
Pioneer Nexus 2 2000 and that's like the standard kind of like mixer that you would have at like
And that
a
has
club or a venue.
four different channels?
No,
or just
that's
two?
just like the actual turntable themselves.
Oh, okay.
The middle mixer is the DJM 900 Mark II that I want to invest in. I won't be getting that. My little SX2 can be used as like a middle mixer without having a laptop plugged in.
Oh, okay.
So like I don't need to upgrade. I can just at least buy the 2 and not have to like spend another additional like 2.3 grand.
Okay. Right on.
Because one CDJ is like 2.2 grand, right? So I'm gonna be dropping about like 4.5 thousand like
Yeah.
on just a pair of those. So,
Yeesh. Yikes.
but it's gonna come in handy for Log Cabin because I'm gonna let also like the locals use it too.
Okay.
But for software I use Ableton.
Okay.
Like that's what I primarily produce in. I started in, so when I was a rock and metal guitarist, I used to be in like a technical thrash metal band, and then I moved to. I'm like, okay, that band split up, and then I'm like, I don't want to be in a band. I want to know like I got into Korn Narcissistic. Like I heard Korn, it's a whole new album. I'm like, how they're doing this, and like I realized they're just like having one person pretty much like take the whole band and put it in like a DAW, like a software, and they like do like a whole, and like he pretty much does it all himself as like one person. I'm like, can I do that as like a rock and metal guitarist? So I learned how to get like drum samples, and I would like do rock and metal over drum samples, and then like after that I'm like, wait, but they're doing this like EDM, like you can make a career. Like I started like wait, you can make a career out of just like making samples and loops and like, so like I first got into like actual making, like producing music before I got into even like going to shows for EDM.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Like I was trying to figure out that because like that was
Yeah.
like kind of fun.
Mhm.
I actually have a album out on iTunes still, I believe.
Really?
Called Future. I think it's like Future Earth or After Earth or something like that.
Okay.
But it's under the name Mr. Nobody.
Okay.
Like that was my first ever like EDM like rocker alias was Mr. Nobody.
Okay.
And then I moved to Mr. Somebody, and then I kind of just like ditched both those names. I'm like, I'm just gonna be like Tyler Knighton.
Yeah.
Like at that point.
Yeah. Right on.
But I learned, I started in GarageBand. I went to Cubase, and then I went to Reason,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then after Reason I went to FL, then I went to Ableton, then I went back to FL actually, and then I kind of went
FL
back,
Fruity Loops.
yeah,
Yep.
FL is Fruity Loops,
Mhm.
and then I went back to Ableton after going back to FL again for a second. Then
Any reason why?
I just like the fluid, like how fluid Ableton is versus like Fruity Loops. Like Fruity Loops is a little more like clunky to me. It seems a little more blocky, and I don't like how it's structured.
I hear that's a little bit more user friendly though, right?
It is much more user friendly, but I like how technical Ableton can be. Like I actually like getting in there. But if you want to be even more technical, Reason is kind of like your alley, because you can actually have like it's like an actual analog plugin software.
That's what I heard. Yeah, so it's kind of like you said, analog plugin where you can batch cables into different things.
Yeah, you can actually see all the cable inputs on the back of like your actual monitors and everything. So like it's a really cool software if you really can get into it and learn it. But for me, I prefer Ableton, and I've been using that strong for I'd say like 2-3 years now, maybe 4.
Okay.
And I'm pretty comfortable with sticking with that from now on, I think.
Yeah.
So.
And you're still producing. I know you do have a couple tracks this year that you remix. Did you do a Millennium remix, right?
Yeah, I dropped an Millennium sad song. Like it was kind of like unreleased / released sad song like bootleg. I tried to release it on SoundCloud, but it keeps getting flagged because it's copyright by all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
SoundCloud has a little issue with copyright.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't like it.
Yeah.
I know I released a Takeaway on YouTube, but I'm re-releasing that because I actually got the official acapella.
Oh, really?
From it, and I kind of had like an extended intro that kind of like fooled SoundCloud.
Oh, okay.
And don't tell SoundCloud. Don't
Oh.
tell SoundCloud, maybe. But yeah, like I said, like I actually have it on SoundCloud. I'm gonna be like getting it remastered down. Then, I'm actually like working on 2 more Millennium remixes.
Okay.
I've been like all this time spending alone. Like I pretty much just like work on music nonstop. Like this morning I actually like finished up a track.
Oh, really?
And like I think within the past like 2 weeks to like 3 weeks, I finished up like 3 to 4 tracks.
Nice.
And like they're about to be sent away, and one of them I did one of them is another remix with a vocalist of a track that I just put out. I did a remix of what's his name? Boom's song Goodbye, featuring the vocalist Justin Hara.
Okay.
And I'm working with Justin Hara on doing a remix of one of his own tracks called Rose right now.
Oh, okay.
And then with that, I actually just sent him a song that I just like finished up that he's gonna be adding like our own vocal. I thought I'd turn this on silent.
No, you're good.
I just sent him a track to have vocals done, and he's gonna be doing some vocals and
Really?
then, yeah. So
Nice.
I'm just trying to push out as much, and I think I think I'm gonna probably push out like a future bass EP soon.
Oh, yeah?
Like even though like I'm pushing hard with dubstep, like I want to push hard with dubstep. I've been feeling very creative with like future bass, and I want to definitely like push that of like what I'm doing if I can for right now. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely working on some more dubstep tunes like Mayo that I just put out earlier that I'm really satisfied with, and then I'm working on one with event like the movie Venom. I found like a voice clip, and I'm kind of working with that and making like this really cool like fight scene kind of like dubstep song with that.
Right on. Sweet. So when you start, you do a lot of bootlegs and remixes. How does that process start? Do you get like plugins from certain places, or?
I try to find the acapellas online.
Okay.
If I can't,
Where would you go to find those?
You can normally just find them on YouTube, and then there'll be like links in the description being like, hey, download this acapella or something like that. Or if they don't have it, you can. Sometimes we'll find like rock band acapellas.
Okay.
So, cause like rock band takes all like the vocal tracks, and they just eliminate like all the drums and all the like guitar and all the bass, and then like when you sing into it, when you don't sing in rock band, it actually doesn't have the vocals going over it, so it knows how to take the vocals out.
Okay.
So like I'll try to find like if it's like a rock song, like there was the Paramore Crush song I remixed. That one I actually found was from like a rock band little like audio pack thing that I downloaded. So like there's packs out there that you can get for acapellas, or you can isolate the vocals using audio software. I used to use Audacity a lot, but now I just got RX7 Isotopes RX7. I definitely like recommend that software. It's definitely helped me out like with acapellas and isolating vocals, or even like sprucing up like certain things with vocals, or just trying to get certain like samples of music. Like you can like you can even like take out the vocals of something and like it's like, hey, like I just want like something from this song. Like I want this little sample.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's what that's good for.
Okay.
Or at least that's what I've been like primarily using it for.
Okay. When you remix, do you try and use as much of your own stuff as possible, or do you try and keep it similar to what the original track was, but adding your own little flavor to it?
I only take the vocals from it.
So you're just okay.
Yeah, I generally just take the vocals and I just like remake everything around that.
Which isn't very common.
Yeah, no, like some people will just like take actual like samples and like flip it.
Right.
But like sometimes I'll keep the feel of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for all the Millennium songs I've been pushing out like lately, that's why the Takeaway and like the Sad Songs one I've been like I worked on.
Which that new
like
album
they were all
is phenomenal.
Oh, I love
Absolutely
I love the whole new Ascend album. That was so good.
Yeah, incredible.
I'm sad that I won't be able to see it this year. I'm so sad.
Yeah, right.
I missed their stop here. I missed the stop in Chicago. I missed Red Rocks. Maybe I'll watch it on YouTube because they have it recorded like officially. But
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'll savor it and like go make a trip for New Year's or something.
There you go.
I'm
sure there'll be a part 2 or something, right?
Yeah, because they had the Awake part 2, so maybe they'll have Ascend part 2.
Yeah, probably. I was actually able to see Just Millennium at Lost Lands when he did a back-to-back with Excision. Ooh. And he played a couple songs off the new album, and man, wow, just incredible. I'd consider him in the upper echelon of the EDM scene in terms of production and how he went about making that new album. Was, you can tell he's in a whole other level than some of these other guys. But he's also been around a while, you know. So.
Yeah, he's been around for actually like over 10 years, over 10, 11 years. So like, funny
it takes
thing,
time.
Yeah, it takes time, but like, he's went under like other aliases. Like I've tried to dig and find some of his like old projects, and it's been like really hard to find even some of his older stuff. Cause like I've heard him do a throwback, like his throwback set. Like I streamed that at my place, and
oh, you did?
There was some like songs I'm like, I've never heard these songs, never heard him play these, and like I did my research and like these were unreleased songs that he never just like put out there. I'm just like, damn
you. Yeah, right.
Damn you.
Those
I want
unreleased, man. Those
so
unreleased.
Yeah. But Millennium is actually what I guess pushed me more into making. I guess not like being more public, but like wanting to be more like a DJ, like not like a DJ, but like wanting to go into music as like a career.
Okay.
Because like I always did like I did Bass Elements, or not Bass. Like I didn't run it at that time. I was just starting to get into it, but I saw Millennium at the Life in Color here in Grand Rapids. It was crowd. I remember it was Crowd Control, Millennium, and then Diplo, like those three artists. And man, that show like actually was like the show that inspired me, like just to push like forward more as like an artist. And without that show, I don't think like right now it would be here right
really?
now. I mean, like we wouldn't be having this conversation just because that show inspired me, made me wanna give people the experience he gave me from that show.
Yeah.
Like that show, like before then, like I was kind of like going through a lot of depression, and the way I describe it is like that show, like it was Life in Color, but that show like gave like my black and white world kind of like color.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could ever describe that show. Like that show gave me color, and
that's
I
fucking
wanted
poetic, man.
That's actually
really
something
is
pretty common in the EDM scene too.
But yeah, you know, and definitely what I find interesting about the EDM scene is people will go into it having absolutely no expectations, and it seems like almost 100% of the time they come out of it with just like, this community is awesome, these people are awesome, like I feel like I'm a part of something, right? And that's really at the end of the day, that's all we kind of want, right? Is to feel like we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. And I think the EDM scene really gives people that opportunity. You don't really have to change who you are. We're all accepting of, for the most part, of who you are. We're just here to have a good time and experience this together, you know. And hearing your experiences is awesome, because I feel like that's a lot of people's experiences, and it's easily relatable, you know. I can bring people out of those dark places, and you can kind of see how awesome life can be, you know, at events like that, and just listening and sharing, you know, experiences with people, and Yeah, that's really, really cool that you brought that up. I'm glad we kind of dug that out. That's awesome.
No, thank you.
Let's see here. I've got a few left. We talked about the digital audio workshop that you use, Ableton. What's kind of on your horizon right now? I know there's a show coming up here at the Deltaplex, Porter Robinson.
Yeah, the Porter Robinson time.
And you get to be a part of that. Talk about that.
Yeah, I'll be doing the silent disco with a bunch of other locals like Karpal, Ronan.
Who we want to get on this podcast, so Karpal, if you're listening.
Yeah,
we want you on here.
Definitely also get Ronan and get Twisted Ups. Get all these locals on here. Like these are definitely like people I could see on the rise, like coming up. Because like once I think some of these DJs are finally like buckling down and like actually taking it seriously. Like once you start doing that, like doors open.
Yeah.
Like doors open for like me, doors open for like anyone. Like
it's not just gonna happen.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work.
You literally have to like do it. Like me, I'm a very like quiet and like people normally come up to me and like I really want to stress this like right now. Like people come up to me and like, Tyler, do you hate us? Do you not like me? Like you don't talk to us. You always just like are like quiet, like hanging out away from everyone. Like I'm a very like I don't want to say antisocial. I want to be social, but it's very
introvert?
like it's an introvert who wants to be extroverted.
Sure,
essentially.
yeah.
I really want to come and talk to everyone, but like
I'm good.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just like there's also like so many people to talk to. Like it almost is like overwhelming for me at times. Like there's times where like I would be at intersection and I'm just like, this is so packed. It's uncomfortable for me, and I just want to leave. Yeah. Like I don't like being like this close to people where I can't move and can barely breathe.
Right.
Like,
yeah. No.
Like it's not a comfortable. Like I like, but that's really weird for me to say. Like wanting to be a DJ. Like I'm about to be out. Like I'm gonna one day be on a stage with like a million people looking at me, and like I might have.
There's a lot more space on stage than there is in the crowd.
Like that's the big that definitely is a big thing. Like having that much space is kind of nice.
No, I definitely when I go to shows I find my space, and it's definitely not going to be shoulder to shoulder. I'm going to have some breathing room, right? So, no, I totally get that.
But yeah, like I guess on Horizon, like today, like I actually buckled down and did like 3. Like I submitted for 3 different things today. One of them looks good.
When you say submitted, is this like someone says, "Here, try this remix"?
No, it's for a show out of state.
Oh, okay.
I won't say where. But like I got help. I got like even like a recommendation for it from like another DJ from that town.
Nice.
And then there's like and then I submitted for 2 other things. Like right now also like one of them I could actually say was Panky Ring. I submitted for it. Panky Ring just put out their submissions for Electric Forest this year. So
okay.
So locals, like get on that. You want to do that definitely, because we want to push locals. Let's get Grand Rapids like on Panky Ring.
This is base country, you know. Like this is it.
Yeah, let's get all of us like on the silent disco, or at least as much of us on like their bus as possible. That'd be like dope to see for me.
How do you apply for the the silent disco, or what was it called?
Panky Ring. Right now it's on their website. You can just go to like I think it's like Panky Ring.
And what is Panky Ring?
They're like a host. They're or I guess you would say like a record label, like a talent buyer, like agency,
Okay.
But they run and throw shows. Like they have the giant buses at Electric Forest that goes and travels around.
Are they strictly Michigan based, or they're all over? Okay.
They're all over. They go to New York. They have a show in New York coming up, I believe.
Okay.
But they throw shows at Electricity. I've seen they throw shows in I think Chicago. So like they travel and they try to go around. I think they went to Halloween before for like the bus. They went to Lost Lands with the bus.
Oh, okay.
They went to Base Canyon with the bus. So like they try to get around and like they can pull artists too. That's the big thing. Like they have
connections.
They have connections. Mm-hmm. Now, at Electric Forest they had Slander back Wooly like just come through. Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad. Like I think it was like they nicknamed it the Bad Vibration set. So like they can pull big names from like for like these things. So like I want to definitely submit and try to be a part of it. I submitted last year. I didn't make it, but I think this year I'm confident.
Yeah, 2020 is your year.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, like every year I say I'm gonna keep moving up more, and I do keep moving up more. It may not be as quick as I want, but I'm still gonna be like clawing to go as quick as I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop until like I'm on top. Like I want to be like Excision level, if not bigger. Like
right on.
I want to shoot for the stars. Cause if I'm gonna give people that experience Millennium gave me that one day, like I want to make sure like I can give it to them like on that grand a scale, or else it's to me that's not worth it.
Right on.
Like to me, I got like it has to be. It's either go big or go home.
Right
also.
on. I dig that. That's, I mean, as long as that hunger's there, right? Like why wouldn't you? Do you feel like the window? Do you feel like you'll ever stop? Do you think you're gonna be like, I think I might be getting too old for this, or like is it just you're just gonna keep going like this?
I mean, I hope not. Yeah, like I hope like I guess if the idea of the window closes, I hope that I'm at a big enough point where I can do something like bass elements on a grander scale.
Sure.
Like that's also why like I actually want to hold on to bass elements. Like even if like let's say I got booked for like a tour or something, but like I would want to leave bass elements in reliable hands, but I would check in with them, make sure it's good. Like I would want to come back and like see it, and like I would want to bring this up in even bigger things. Like if I was to blow up, now is to come back and like take the reins over for a bit and bring this up even bigger, bring out like other locals up to a bigger level, like maybe even like buy a venue or something.
Right. Yeah. And there's some venues popping up in GR that are kind of gonna go after that EDM style crowd, right? Like, could you talk about places like that?
I know Metro just opened up. Metro Grand Rapids, like they're starting up. I know Twisted Dubs is doing a bass and shenanigans night at Agave. He's been
which he's had some trouble with. I know.
Yeah, he's been having trouble with that. I love Agave. It's
They just renovated, right?
They just renovated, but like to me, there's certain people there where I know don't like me, and I don't like being around people who don't like me in a way.
Okay.
So and I don't want to go into description who it is, but like I know they don't like me around. I know it's not good air, and I'd rather not be in a place where I don't feel comfortable. Because I did visuals for a night, and they were there, and it felt like a very awkward experience to me.
Okay, so you've done visuals too.
Yeah, like I do all the visuals at Log Cabin. Like I run there. Ryan Valero, aka Pharaoh Roche, helps out with visuals there.
How'd you get into that?
So I wanted to figure out what visual software Intersection used, and I honestly just got it, and I just started learning that because it's very similar to the graphic design software I use for my school. Even.
Oh, okay, yeah, yep.
So like there's like layers and everything like that I can like add and subtract and like difference layers and like screen all my layers. Use some Lumia so like I can make so much stuff with like all this like on the go, on the fly. It's so reactive, it's so nice, and it's so fun. And I've had Stephanie from Intersection, Charlotte's Web. She does visuals at Intersection. I've had her come through and do visuals there at Log Cabin. Okay. So
do you need any like is it all done through a computer, or do you have like a separate?
It's a little. You just get software for a laptop. The software is called Resolume. Okay. Oh, I use Resolume Arena. So like what it does, it essentially just projects like video loops or like images. Like so artists make visuals for like their own songs. You can have it that would go along with like beat and everything. Or you can just get random samples that'll like loop and they'll be like fluid, or like some of them will kind of be like jumpy, or will be just like a flat out video.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's definitely like I did like learning. I want to actually like pursue it more.
Okay, that's a big part of it. I mean, you could argue that the visuals are almost just as important as the music at times, and how those coincide together.
Well, it's come in handy too, because like a month ago I went and saw Dogma down in Champaign, Illinois, and they didn't have visuals, but actually lucky them, like I had my laptop, I looked at Dogma, I'm like, hey, like I have my visuals, like you want me to run your guys' visuals for the night? And he looked at me, he's like, yes. Like yeah, you're just gonna run the visuals for tonight. It's like I'm gonna owe you one. I'm like, good, like I'm gonna call you.
Exactly, yeah.
So
save
like
that in the bank.
But yeah, so like, but it was still like a fun night overall. The drive home from that sucked. So the biggest thing I hate about my cooking job is I always have to work like the next day after a show I play or a party I throw. Like I work at 9 or 10 a.m. the next day, and it just sucks. But like, yeah, I get through the day because like the previous party, like that's what gets me.
You're still vibing from the previous day, right? Yeah, that keeps you going.
Yeah, like the previous warehouse party, I played I remember stopping and like while I was cleaning up, like I was shaking. I looked at my buddy. I'm like, that was probably like the most fun, like the most intense like party like I've ever like
Hell yeah.
had in my life. There was like 200 people like in a warehouse, and I've never had that experience.
That's awesome.
So like it was a really cool new like experience for me to have, because I've always heard about stuff like that here in Grand Rapids, but I've never like experienced it. Now that like I'm being a part of it, it's definitely cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. I know you talked about Elenium being one of your big kind of role models. Who local would you say is someone that you've looked up to throughout the years?
I would say Carpow.
Carpow?
Like, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I love Carly to death. Like,
yeah.
Like she's definitely someone who inspires me. Like she doesn't stop ever.
Yeah.
Like she's going show after show.
She's driven.
So she's like pushing herself.
Yeah.
And that definitely inspires me to want to keep pushing myself more and more and more. Like I see Super Future like doing like big thing, like so much stuff. All these songs he's putting out with Spicy Boys, so good,
dude,
so far.
Like I said, his set at Immersive, when he opened up for him was it blew me away, because I've heard him in the past and it just had a totally different sound to it, and you can tell he's been putting in the work, and it's paying off, because it blew me away. I was blown away at how much he's progressed.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, that whole set was just like, I remember listening to him just like, what the fuck,
right? And like,
yeah,
I said the same thing, man.
Like I hope like Mercive's probably back there being like, this motherfucker's trying to win up me, right,
dude. And no offense to Mercive, he had a great set. He did have some technical difficulties, if I remember correctly.
I actually had to leave before.
Okay, no, it happened a couple times. His audio cut out. Yeah, twice. Ooh. And then the second time he made it known to where he was like, fuck, like into the mic, like it was bad. But
so that was actually kind of what happened to me in Ohio.
Oh really?
Yeah, like okay. I had like something like that similar like happened to me in Ohio essentially.
That's gotta be the worst feeling, when all of a sudden you're vibing and all of a sudden just silence.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like, it was, like, for me, like, I actually had to stop my whole set and, like, get off stage and find, like, someone to help fix my problem. Because there was no one. Yeah, like, it was a very bad and like, I'm 7 hours away from home, and I have to stop a set, and, like, I have no one around me. It was a very,
Gosh, yeah, oh, man.
I don't want to get into it anymore. It's starting to bring back flashbacks. I'm getting triggered. It's just like, you're about to get, like, an hour-long rant. How long is this recording at?
I think we've actually been going for just about an hour now, so yeah, this is perfect. I've actually ran out of questions, I think, to ask, so I think we did good. We talked about what's on the horizon. Anything else coming up in the future? Any shows that you're going to, or?
Honestly, like I try to go to every Intersection show as possible, just because like I love being there. I consider Intersection like a second home. Yeah. Like almost now. Mm-hmm. Like Intersection security is pretty much like family to me. Like I know all of them there. Like I hang out with them. They came to my parties like after all these shows, and they would help out and be kind of like security. They'd be like, we know you. We're gonna help. Like we want to make sure everyone here is safe too.
That's cool. So. That's really cool.
So like it's definitely like a close knit family. Like this whole community. Like they even like I've seen them come to log cabin at times even. Nice. And I've had like we've been upping security, and like they've reached out to us being like, well, we can help you on our off times.
Wow, that's
like independently.
That's cool.
So
that's awesome.
So having them around is definitely like a nice thing, because like if like honestly, if I do blow up like and get bigger, I would love to have them like come with me as like security. Some of them. Yeah. I know one of them, like I would probably like to have Rage. It's like if there's anyone there, it'd be like Rage or Doug. Yeah. Of the two whole security, if I could bring like both of them with me, I'd be safe, and I wouldn't have to worry about like anyone. Yeah. You could they could come at me with Shaq, and I would be okay. I'd be like, bring them on, we're good. These guys got me. I believe in them.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I think.
Well, how does one get into the Intersection? Like, how do you get yourself to open up there? Get to know somebody?
So, they have a submission form on their website. So you can go to intersection.com and you can submit to there, and then you can start finding, and then you can get into it more from there.
Do you have to like have proof of that you'll actually like bring people there? Do you have to have like a name behind yourself?
Yes, like you're definitely gonna have to like name and skill. Like they take that, like both of those things into consideration. I got lucky. Like it's also who you know, too. Like definitely knowing people who get booked there a lot helps you out a lot, kind of thing. Like this whole scene's like, you could be the most talented like producer in the world, but if you don't know anyone and you're very socially awkward and quiet and don't talk to people, you're gonna be shit out of luck. You're not like, but if you get discovered, but you gotta be able to get discovered. You gotta have someone do the talking for you. If you can get to that level where your production can speak for you, that's a whole other kind of thing. But like, to get to that level, that's very hard.
Yeah.
I think I've been told that day and age has passed. Like being able to produce your way to the top, you need to be able to brand your way to the top. Like nowadays,
brand is so huge nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's why you want to really like keep the whole like onesie idea going, because that is something I've kind of like branded myself with.
How did that even start?
I just wore onesies to intersection.
And you just kept it going?
And I started DJing in onesies. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this. Like, fuck it.
Fuck it, right?
And I think there was a moment during Prime. It was at a Prime. No, it was Subdocta. When I was direct support for Subdocta at the Stash. I remember mid-set, like, I actually thought, like, I was having heat stroke.
Oh,
like,
really?
because, like, I was so hot in the onesie. And I'm, like, looking around, and I'm, like, getting dizzy. And I can't see any, like, and my whole vision's, like, blurry. And I'm just, like, and I remember, like, unbuttoning my onesie. I might just strip for everyone here. And then I remember I played Prime. And then mid-set at Prime, I look at Ronan. I'm like, Ronan, I'm stripping. It's, like, 100 degrees outside right now. I'm hot in this onesie. He's like, you're gonna strip in to your shorts. I'm like, I'm stripping to my shorts.
You put on a show for sure. Then.
Yeah. Like ever since then, I've been kind of doing it. I did that last night at Cabin, like during Twisted Dubs in Mindset. I'm like, Brad, I'm gonna give our sets some sex appeal.
Oh yeah.
You know, like give them a show while they're having a show.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
two shows for the price of one.
Right on.
It'll work out.
That's funny. And yeah, that's kind of why we're here, is to help promote brands, you know, and I think it's that's what's great, is that we're both able to promote each other's brand. You know, this is an outlet for people to see who you really are. I mean, granted, you can read words on paper and you can go to shows, but you really don't have a sense of who that person is. And that's why I love, you know, seeing these Reddit AMAs, you know, that artists do, which is great. But when you get this type of setting, which Dennis and I had talked about this podcast thing hasn't really been tapped yet, and I'm shocked that this is not a thing, you know, because who wouldn't want to know more about an artist, and how they came about, and you know, learning their story. Like, it's a fucking no-brainer, and I'm super glad that you were able to take the time to do this, because you're in my mind exactly who we want. We want these people who are still promoting their brands and want, you know, a bigger audience, and for people to really understand who they are and how they came about. Because like you said, you're kind of an introvert, you don't really talk to people. This is a great outlet for people to really understand who you are and how you came about. So thank you so much for doing this. Greatly appreciate it. Do you have anything else to add for Tyler? Or?
No, I'm good.
No? Good? Anything you want to ask us? Or
No.
Any plugs?
No, honestly, no. Like, all I gotta say, like, to anyone out there, like, that wants to get into music, I would just say, just do it. Just like, really, just go for it. Just dive straight into it. It's a very big empty ocean that you're gonna like swim into at first, but like there's coral reefs down there.
yeah.
Does that makes sense? Like it may seem really dark, but like there's lights. Like it gets bright in some areas and it gets dark in some areas. Like this isn't an easy path, but it's definitely very fulfilling. I can definitely say it's a very fulfilling thing, and I want to make sure that everyone around here and anyone who ever wants to come into it will ever have like a chance to succeed like that. So like I'm really hoping that like this interview also like helps bring people to Bass Elements and to give them a chance to do more with themselves, like what I've been doing. So.
Absolutely, right on. Well, again, thank you so much for the time. Greatly appreciate it. This is Tyler Knighton, Bass Elements producer, DJ. He does it all. So thank you again for your time. Appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Cut.